Alright, homework for problem 5. F of x equals x to the third minus 5x plus 7. So we start with part A. What is the best way to begin this problem? I solved this question by using intuitive reason, and I essentially guessed. And I found that C was our answer. So first you have to find the values of x1 and x2 for which f of x1 is less than e, which is less than or equal to e, which is less than or equal to f of x2 of f of x1, which is greater than or equal to e, which is greater than or equal to f of x2. Now we move down to part 2 of problem A. They want us to find f of negative 3. So all we have to do is just plug in f of negative 3 into the original function f of x equals x squared cubed minus f of x plus 7. And through the process you find out that f of negative 3 is equal to negative 5. Then you do the same process for f of negative 2. You plug in negative 2 and you find that f of negative 2 for this equation is equal to 9. Now part 4 of question A asks if a solution exists between negative 3 and negative 2 for f of x equals e. You find that your answer is A. I knew this because I knew the value for constant e was roughly 2.8. And I found, is it negative 2.8? Well, yeah, so the answer is yes, because f of negative 3 is less than e, which is less than f of negative 2. Now for part B of problem 5, they want us to show that there's a value, if there's a value c for which f of c is equal to the square root of negative 3. And they ask if a solution exists between negative 3 and negative 2. So what you would do is you plug in square root of negative 3 in this original function, and from there you'd find your answer to see if it's between negative 3 and negative 2. And your answer you come up with is yes. In fact, it is in between those 2 points, those 2 function points. Now we move on to question C. They want us to show if there's a value for C when f of c is equal to 6 million. What we go through is a bunch of trial and error tests. We plug in f of 175, and through the same process as the previous problems shown in A, you find that f of 175 is equal to 5,358,507. Then, since that, you can tell that that's not between, we'll get to that actually. Then we plug in f of 180. When we do the same process, we come out with 5,831,107. Then, now that you found those 2 values, they ask, does a solution exist between f of 175 and f of 180 for f of x equals 6 million? You find that your answer is inconclusive because 6 million doesn't lie between those 2 points at all. Now that you know that, you keep on testing. So now we work with f of 185. When we plug in f of 185 and do the same process we did in the previous problems, we find that f of 185 is equal to 6,330,707. Next, question 5 of problem C asks, does a solution exist between those 2 points, 180 and f of 180 and f of 185 for f of x equals 6 million? And that now that you found your 2 answers, you know that yes, there is, because f of 180 is in between 6 million, is less than 6 million, which is less than 185. So you can tell that 6 million lies between those 2 points. And that's how you solve problem 5 for homework 4.